Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for the weekend of November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 2013. I'm Astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Rabbit, here we are on the 1st of the month and the big webinar. Saturday, 8 a.m. You are not going to want to miss it. Link is below. This is a powerful time. And I'm going to start this horoscope with, when I started 2013 and I looked at the year ahead, the week that I picked that would be the most transformational, the most intense, and the most holy cow, I want to see what the universe and God does this week, starts this weekend. We have a huge solar eclipse which is brewing, one that is going to include Saturn, a Mercury retrograde, transitions of a yod between Mars, the Sun, and Mercury, and Uranus. This is also included with this powerful energy with Pluto involved. So this is a huge stellar show, plus a Pluto and Uranus really powerful square. You cannot ask for more this year. This has been a buildup because this is Saturn in Scorpio. This is all the Scorpio energy that we stepped into with Saturn last year. This is all coming back. This is all coming to a completion in many ways because we have been digging deeper into ourselves to find out our true inner self, to step into this truth we speak of here on the Leo King channel. But more importantly, this is dealing with emotions. This is dealing with an inner world that is very private to you, that is very deep. The frustrations we've talked about. But here it is this weekend because on Sunday, on November 3rd, we have a huge solar eclipse in Scorpio. And this is going to be on Saturn, which is about these frustrations, but also about these building blocks of making our life stronger, of creating new concrete. It's also with a Mercury retrograde, which is exact on Friday, which is this conjunction of this clarity that we are learning to understand and become more clear about in this deep inner world. We also have this really radical yod that's forming, and this is dealing with revolution, radical change. That I believe this weekend is the beginnings and the spark of a radical change, of a completion of the last year, of you unveiling what you've been trying to unveil in this deep inner world. Whether it's been frustrating the crap out of you, or whether or not it's been you working towards getting into your truth, this is what it all led for in the last year, to complete the last year of this deep inner transformational world. And it is so powerful because it is about building the correct life. The last time we had a North Node Saturn conjunction was at the beginning of 2000, 2001 area. And that was the last time we even could have an eclipse near Saturn. So it has been over a decade since we've had any of this energy come together. And this is about the building blocks of getting into your truth now, that this weekend steps you into. Holy cow, it's all led to this point. And Jupiter is on its last weekend of being direct, so we have been expanding and growing, and the universe has the next 5 days of mass rapid growth than ever. That this weekend is truly about learning our emotions. This weekend is truly about changing our lives correctly into this truth. This weekend is all about the precise energy you focus on to make sure you're anchored correctly in your truth, that you're changing your life. You know, the Pluto-Uranus square is exact where we have talked about this massive war that is happening with the gods up in the sky. Well, that's an old way to put it, but this is this power that is forcing us to break free of old systems, to step into this self. This is about courage. But with this Uranus energy that makes a nice crazy inconjunct over to the Sun and the Mercury retrograde, all while Mars is making this energy, this is actually epiphanies, radical change, crazy change. And I believe that this weekend can completely break you free of the past or break you free of a cycle that has been lingering on for quite some time. Pretty much a year. Could be even deeper, but that we're getting closer and closer to finding or understanding what we can do to work on getting rid of any frustrations, the work we must do to invest correctly. This is also one of the last weekends of Venus in Sagittarius, that there is this opening in our energies of our value systems. I think so much of the energy that's around right now is trying to radically force you into re-identifying your life correctly from your inner world, making the adjustments you need to make in your reality in order to make this true. You cannot hide anymore. You cannot sit anymore. That you are going to have to start working, because next week, and we're going to go deep into the webinar about this, we are stepping into Capricorn energy with a Jupiter retrograding in Cancer. So the universe is setting us up next week for even deeper energy. And whenever there's a solar eclipse like this is huge karma. This is a karmic turning point. This is a huge crossroad. This is a huge unveiling. This is what the whole entire year was about, was to get you to this spot. You could be, holy cow, I need to change at this spot, or you could be like, I have made it to the light, baby. You know, there is a very bipolar shade with Scorpio. And it goes very deep into black and white energies. Excuse me. And it is really powerful time as we are going to shift forward after this weekend into the sun humping over Saturn and becoming clear on this new stepping forward into our truth. But we have to unveil quite a lot this weekend. We need to go through the crazy radical change that we need to step into, the courage to step into, the leaving behind. There is this healing taking place, but it's inside. You know, this is healing that's happening that we can't express to everybody because they don't understand it, because they're not in your soul feeling it. And it can be frustrating as, you know, we want people to be there for us out in the outer world, yet they can't feel the same way, have the same empathy for what is going on, because each person's situation internally is so deep and so internally hidden that it's hard for us to see in there. We can feel it. We could, you know, intuitively tap into it. But remember, this is dealing with your own inner world. This is dealing with your own stuff. And the universe is coming through this weekend to really shine on this spot and break you free of it, step you into new ways. You know, and it's about looking at this place. No longer after this week, and I guarantee you as we go through the horoscopes this week, and you'll start to see that you're going to have to really step out of the bullshit and step into the truth now. This is about truth. This is the seeding of truth. A whole year of us having to work on our truth. A solar eclipse in Scorpio on Saturn with Mercury retrograde means there's a lot to re-clarify. There's a lot to work on. There's a lot to become aware of. There's a lot to heal from. There's a lot to open up to. There's a lot of breaking down. There's a lot of internal struggle. There's a lot of psychological re-identification issues that are the problem, because we're not re-identifying correctly, or we're not even trying to identify correctly at all. Maybe we're identifying with, oh, it's got to only be this way. We could be hiding from the truth. Anybody at this point, if you're out of money, if you're forced to move, if you're in any of these positions, it's because you're not living at your truth. It's time to move on. If your relationship is dead in the water at this spot, you know. The universe is going to make us work for this, though. You're going to have to invest now. You're going to have to go. And it's the beauty in us opening up and understanding our true values. The way that we can step into a new identification of our lives by taking the smaller actions, by making the readjustments, by taking all of this energy and doing what's responsible. It's responsibility. Friday, Saturday, dark of the moon. It could be, it's the closing out. So this isn't about starting or beginning or, you know, This is a very closing out celebration or cycle that's deep inside. The universe has been waiting to unveil this for a long time to get us to this place. We're talking about ages to get to this spot. This is where I believe the breaking free of the new earth really picks what side of the fence you're on, if you're going to live in your truth or if you're going to live in this fake world. If you're going to live in your fakeness. Go live in your fakeness all you want. You know, that's kind of what the universe says. And we'll just make it hard as hell on you. We'll just make it hard as hell. Live in your truth and we will flourish you because your desires are being met. You're living in what is real. You're living in the responsibility of anchoring in your core truth of your roots correctly. And we will make sure that things are received to you. This is the house of receiving. This is the house of trust. This is the house of sex. This is the house of intimacy. This is the house of the boundaries we put up between people. It is time to not screw around anymore in your life. You cannot screw around after this point. This can be a huge head blow to somebody hard if you're not living in your truth. You could really get smacked hard. But I think that it's for you to wake up to the light. It's almost like waking up and the sun comes out when it's dark, when somebody opens up a room. It's like, wow. Crazy. But the positive in all this is that this weekend, for all of us, is about building new karma, taking the old karma, the events of the last 2 weeks. We're all fated. The fate train is heavy right now. This is when it's going, hooty hoot, you know, like, whoop. In order for you to really blast off in the right direction. What side of the earth are you going to pick? Are you going to live in your fakeness and not your truth? Are you going to go into your truth? You're just going to do it? You're just going to take the balls and just do it? Or the ovaries and you're just going to go? You're going to readjust your reality? You're going to do what's right? You're going to anchor in this? And are you going to trust that the universe has got your back because you're living in your truth? Or are you not trusting the universe because you really believe that I can't anchor in my truth because it won't work out that well? This is a test to see how well your contract with God is. How well is it? Do you really trust that the universe and God is going to take care of you? Do you really trust it? Or do you believe that you need to stay in your fake life anymore because that's easier and that's going to pay the bills and that's going to take care of you more and that all this, wow, that's not some deep trust, you know? You're actually taxing your life living in the bullshit now. That there are no taxes when you live in your truth. There is only receiving. So, I know it's some deep shit. I hope you guys join me for the big webinar because we are going to blast open this month and see where this Jupiter retrograde goes. We are going to see what the solar eclipse seeds. We are going to see what the Saturn energy brings. This is time to be workload. This is time to be responsible. This is not time for going crazy or, you know, just escaping or, you know, Neptune's doing this still point. We've got Chiron stationary. We've got Jupiter stationary. The universe could be glitchy. I put this on my Facebook that over the next couple days you could start to see things and it's really not there. The universe is adjusting. There is deja vu's happening. We are at this weird click right before the click. So things are weird and things are off and the universe is trying to adjust and it's maintenance time. So just go with the flow for the next couple days until Sunday, until you do, and you are going to see mass rewards if you anchor in this truth. And there's something to unveil, there is something to become clear on, and it's time. It is time for you to do this. I hope I sparked you up enough. If you want to have a one-on-one reading with me, I am booking now, inclusiveastrology.com. I am back in Hollywood. Thank you guys for all of your support, and I hope you guys have the most wonderful solar eclipse ever. And if you want to get deep into it, One Feather and I go into it, so check that out. The link is on the main page. And I hope to see you guys at the webinar, Saturday, 8 a.m. Let's get it going. And I'll see you guys on Monday.